Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be more information about boundaries and narcissistic people, because one of the things that most people, all people need to have is their own personal boundaries. Not only do we have to have our own, we also have to respect other people's boundaries. Setting boundaries is a very hard thing to do. Saying no to people, having your own choice in something for fear of being disliked by another. So choosing a meal that other people might criticize or judge can place that fear within you. Saying no to somebody can place that fear within you. It can make you question if you're being awkward, selfish, stubborn. It can make you feel guilty. It can make you feel like you're letting somebody down. And a narcissist will play on this. When you say no to a narcissist, they're going to accuse you of the feelings that you have had or you have got just because you have set a boundary on someone, which you are allowed to do. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to feel like you are being awkward. You have to recognize that feeling of guilt, recognize that you are doing what is right for you, and recognize that if you change your no into a yes to serve somebody else, you're the one that's going to be left with feelings such as resentment towards that person, and in the long run you are going to feel worse. Boundaries are personal from person to person. Boundaries are personal on behaviours we will and will not accept from other people, touch we will and will not accept from other people, emotional dumping we will and will not accept from others, or we will and will not give to others. The things we like, the things we do, it's all personal from each person to person. It's all an individual choice. With a narcissist, when you are setting boundaries with a narcissist, you will feel like you cannot win, and you cannot win with narcissistic people because they believe they're inherently deserving of what they want. They feel entitled to have what they want when they want with whoever they want. As a narcissist believes that they are special and they are incredibly entitled, exploitative people, they do not think that they're asking too much from you. They think you're being awkward by saying no to them because they don't respect you. They're not willing to see it from your opinion, from your point of view, from your perspective. Even if they don't agree with you, they're not willing to recognize who you are. They just want their own way. Narcissistic people are entitled. They do not think they're asking too much of you. They think you are being awkward, and if you don't go along with them, they're going to make you feel like you are doing something wrong by them, so they can manipulate you to get what they want from you. Boundaries are personal. They are defined by you as an individual on your beliefs, your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions, your values. And when it comes to a narcissist, it can be incredibly difficult setting boundaries with narcissistic people because there's always that fear of boundary retaliation from the narcissistic person. They set the stage, they set the environment, they set the game so that they can win. They will already have something up their sleeve before they even ask something from you, and when you say no to them or ask them to stop doing something, they are going to come at you to punish you, to feel better about themselves because they didn't get what they believe they're entitled to. However, as soon as you start saying no to people, as uncomfortable as it can feel, the sooner you will recognize toxic people who you are in their life to serve them, and non-toxic people who respect who you are as a person. Saying no is challenging enough without dealing with saying no to narcissistic people. We can feel incredibly guilty saying no. We can feel uncomfortable saying no. We can overthink our no's. We can question our no's ourselves. We can feel like we've been mean. We can feel like we've been awkward. And what you have to remember is no matter what you do, it will never be good enough for those who are no good for you. Those who are good for you will appreciate what you do for them, but will also appreciate when you cannot do for them, as you appreciate those who do for you, but also appreciate when they cannot do for you. When saying no, we have to remember that things such as feelings like guilt will pass. When someone's asked you to do something and you've said no, those sorts of feelings of guilt will pass. If you say yes to something you don't want to do, the frustration, the anger, the resentment, the pain within you will linger a lot longer. We can fear setting boundaries. We can fear saying no to people for what other people will think of us. We can fear buying a certain outfit because of what other people will think of us. And our dress sense is our personal boundary. It shows who we are as a person, the things that we like, what we eat are things that we like. But we can fear the school dining hall is a perfect example of children learning to hide their true selves away and not setting boundaries, because as soon as one child starts moaning about the other children eating mushy peas and putting down mushy peas, all other children stop eating mushy peas for fear of people highlighting what that child has on their plate, whatever food it is. Children can gain anxiety and fear over food choices from school based on the fear that other children place into them over their individual meal choice. This then sets the stage for future life where they make choices based on what other people will think rather than what they think. A lot of people fear setting boundaries because of the conflict it might create. So they're avoiding the conflict, they're avoiding the criticism, they're avoiding the shame, they're avoiding the pain, they're avoiding the blame. They're living in fear of being wrong, so going against their beliefs to try and please others in order to not upset another, or in order to not become upset within themselves by other people upsetting them. Boundaries are for you. Not everybody that doesn't understand your boundaries is a narcissistic person, and not everybody understands other people's boundaries. We can all make errors in judgment. It's a very easy mistake to make in life. For example, when a narcissist falls silent on us because we want that communication, because we want to feel better, we can give chase to them rather than respect their boundary and respect their silence. Now, with genuine people who are falling silent because they're hurt, if you go and give chase to them, you are then going to be the toxic one, even if you're not meaning to be the toxic one, even if you're just trying to resolve an issue with them, because you're not respecting their space, you're not respecting their time, you're chasing them for answers, you're chasing them to get them to forgive you or to make it up to them, when in reality they need space. You're not respecting that space. However, with a narcissistic person, they fall silent on you to punish you. So you can't win with them. If you try and respect their silence by not going to chase them, by not going to make it up to them, a narcissist is going to get the face on. So when a narcissist falls silent on you and you go and chase them, it is a boundary violation on them. However, with a narcissistic person, if you don't chase them, they're going to sulk at you, which is their emotional manipulation towards you. You cannot win with these people. They are going to set you up to fail at each and every turn. So when it comes to our emotions, narcissistic people will violate our emotional boundaries at every given opportunity. They will reject our emotions. They will throw false accusations of how we are feeling. They will criticize our emotions. They will judge our emotions. They will shame our emotions. They will guilt trip us, they will blame us, they will do all they can to make us feel like our emotions are wrong so they can prove themselves to be right. You cannot have a two-way conversation with them about how you're feeling unless they can use those very feelings against you. Narcissistic people might violate your boundaries by telling you too much, by offloading too much onto you that you're not ready to hear or that you don't want to know, because they're trying to guilt trip you. If you then try and speak to them about something, they will shut you down. There's no two-way conversation, and we have to respect that they don't want that two-way conversation, and we have to learn to stop talking to them, which is what a narcissist trains us to do. They train us to no longer process our feelings with them, when we need to recognize that we can't process our feelings with that person. So therefore we need to walk away from that person and find somebody who's not manipulating our emotions. Physical boundaries. A narcissist will overstep the mark on physical boundaries at any given opportunity, whether that is them coming in your space, whether that is standing over you, whether that is talking into your face at an uncomfortable distance, whether they're coming at you where you can feel their spit on your face, whether they're raging at you, whether they're talking over you, whether it is comments that you do not appreciate from them, whether they are invalidating you, whether they are touching you inappropriately. And the thing is, they do not respect your personal space, because if they come and touch you and you just simply ask them to stop, they're going to get offended because they feel entitled to touch you, they feel entitled to grope you. So when you say no, they're going to turn around to make themselves feel better and punish you. They're going to accuse you. What's your problem? Are you seeing somebody else? Well, don't come to me when you want something from me. They're going to retaliate to your boundaries, to place that fear into you so that you no longer say no to them. Even things such as leering at you is a physical boundary violation if you don't like it. We have to respect other people's boundaries just as much as they should respect ours. And if they don't respect ours, that says everything about them, not you. Psychological boundaries. A narcissist is going to reject your thoughts, your feelings, your values, your opinions, your choices, your credibility. They always have to be right. Therefore, they're always going to make you feel like you're wrong. They're always going to make you feel like you're not enough. They're always going to make you feel like you need to work harder to please them. They're always going to go on trying to make you feel guilty so that you fear saying no to them. Material items. Boundaries on material possessions, such as your car, your home, your money, your clothing. A narcissist doesn't respect that your clothing is yours. A narcissistic sibling will most likely take without even asking, and then if you try and speak to them about this, they're going to accuse you of being selfish, accuse you of not willing to share your things. A narcissistic partner, nobody falls in love faster than a narcissist who needs somewhere to live, and they will move in and they will try and take your home if they can from you. They will get on that mortgage, they will get on that rent book any way they can, if they can, to exploit you, because they feel entitled to have what is yours. However, they are not very willing to give what is theirs, only if they can use it against you. A narcissist will buy you a car so they can borrow that car and then either not return it or return it in a state. And when you question that they've returned it in a state, they're going to turn around and say, well, you wouldn't even have a car if it wasn't for me, to try and get you to feel grateful and obligated to them, when in reality they've brought themselves a car under the false pretense that they've brought it for you so that they can use it against you, so that they can look good to the outside world that they've purchased a lavish gift. Stop accepting gifts from people who use those very gifts against you. If someone keeps borrowing things from you and failing to return them, stop lending them things, whether that's clothes, whether that is money, whether that is time. If they can't return it, if it's not a two-way street, stop giving them things. or if they return things damaged, if they don't have the ethics to look after your things that they've borrowed from you and they return them damaged, stop loaning them. If they take offence to this, that shows who they are as a person, not you. That shows that they're more interested in what they can gain from you materialistically rather than who you are as a person. And time, boundary on time. They will demand your time. They will know that you have something else on, and they will try to guilt trip you to drop that something else, to be there for them. Even if it's things such as going to the gym, they're going to do all they can to demand you give up your time at the gym to spend time with them, because narcissistic people feel entitled and often require excessive attention, which is why when they're not getting that attention from you, they will go and seek it from elsewhere, and they will blame you. Well, if you hadn't have been going to the gym, there'll be a no-show. They'll always run late because they don't respect your time, and they will fail to let you know. People can run late. You usually can respect that that's a person that just has poor time keeping. However, narcissistic people will run late and expect you to be on time for them. If you're not on time for them, they're gone without you. Those who run late, genuine people who just have poor timekeeping, will respect you when you run late because they will understand. Narcissistic people don't want to understand other people. They don't really understand themselves half the time, but they only understand getting their own way. Broken promises. They're going to make you feel ashamed for things such as wanting to go to bed. They're going to do all they can to exhaust you, to drain you, because once you're drained, it's harder to say no, because it's harder to have that emotional regulation when you're feeling drained. And then a narcissist has you right where they want you, because you're finding it more difficult to regulate your emotions. Those emotions such as fear and guilt are heightened, making it harder for you to say no and easier for the narcissist to manipulate you into doing what they want you to do, to coercively control you without you even knowing what's happening to you. Boundaries are personal for you. If other people don't respect your boundaries, that is on them, not you. Always do what is right for you with good intentions. There is no wrong way or right way to live your life. There is only your way. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments. If you are looking for further help and support, understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do have a playlist on boundaries which explains different aspects that I shall also add into the video description. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers, and your continued support is greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel and you do find the information helpful on the channel, which is all about narcissism, please do subscribe. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. And if something doesn't feel right, find a way to say no and stick to your no.